Welcome to the Property Maintenance Show. We're here with your show's hosts, Albert Taylor and Paul Quell, and we're brought to you by Octagon Work Services. Our main mission is to discuss the property management industry, vendor relations, homeowner and tenants, controversial topics in the property management industry, stuff that no one else wants to talk about. So, hope you enjoy it, and let's get started. Okay, so we're here with our host, Joseph. He's one of our favorite vendors. We've worked with him for a very long time. And yeah, Paul, you want to let us know a little bit how you worked with him in the past?
Well, first of all, thank you, Joseph, so much for joining our podcast episode today. It really means a lot to us. You're an amazing vendor. I just want to say that. And I know you really care about your customers and especially the industry as well. So it's an honor for us to interview you today. And we want to get into some questions for you. So I kind of wanted to start off, Joseph, just for our viewers and listeners tuning into this episode today, maybe just a quick introduction about yourself, briefly.
Definitely. Let me start by saying thank you guys for having me on this podcast. It is a pleasure, and you guys are great people to work with as well. So I'm Joseph. I'm a 20-year-old entrepreneur. I started my cleaning business right after high school. We went ahead and started off as cleaning, kind of found the ropes and expanded out. Now we do all maintenance for property management companies. We can handle literally everything, and that's kind of where we're at. I mean, I'm just a 20-year-old entrepreneur living life and kind of didn't want to work for somebody else. Had to be my own boss.
Awesome. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So
I love that. It's brilliant.
yeah, and I see you're on site right now. Where you at right now?
I'm actually at home. We're in our community area right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I only go on site once the jobs are done, kind of just to take a look at them, make sure they're done, or beforehand, before they even get started, take a look at what we're dealing with and if it's something my company can handle. And then that's the only time I'm really on site.
okay. That's actually a good practice, right? Yeah, in case there's like stuff like, yeah, a lot of people say, hey, my cell phone went missing. So I imagine you go in to check to see if that's all true, right? Beforehand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
we get those
Mhm.
people all the time. I
Yeah.
mean, we I mean I've been in business for about 3 years now, so I've seen it all.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
probably not all, but I've seen some pretty crazy things. I mean,
About 90%.
people will scratch while we were cleaning, only cleaning. People would scratch their appliances and try to go through our insurance to get them a new stove or to get them a new microwave. And it's like, you did that yourself,
Yeah.
I mean, we before and after photos are very, very, very crucial in this industry,
Mhm.
or even videos.
Videos.
So
Yeah, that's what I was
yeah,
gonna say.
we come across people. Yep, we have to cover all our sides. I mean, we
Hmm.
cannot let these people just run over you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's pretty sensitive business, and
Oh yeah,
yeah.
we deal with all kinds of personalities. I mean, that's the best part of the job actually, is
Hmm.
dealing with a bunch of different personalities and meeting different people.
Hmm.
But there's always that 1 in 10.
Right. Yeah. Well, 2 in 10 maybe. Yeah. Yeah. I've seen that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen
definitely.
some stories. Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
it's very interesting, Joseph, you're mentioning this because it's kind of leading into my first question.
Yeah.
Um, so I was having a look on your website, and by the way, your website's amazing. For anyone listening, please check that out.
Hmm.
H Royalty Cleaning Services.
Yeah.
Type that in on
We'll
Google.
put it here on the
It,
video so people can see it.
we'll make sure that that's going to appear on our screen as well
Hmm.
for anyone listening. So I saw on your website, right, when I clicked on the About Us section, that you quoted, "We are in business of making people happy," right? So what are some of the key points to keeping your clients and customers happy in
Yeah.
in the cleaning
Number one,
business?
number one is communication. You have to communicate back and forth with these clients. You cannot just let them leave it. You can never leave it as leave a cliffhanger. There we go. That's how you say it. You can never leave a cliffhanger. You always have to communicate with them, whether you're employees broke something or anything, just communicate back and forth. They're always happy about that, right? Be understanding of their situation. Not everybody makes $1 million a year. Not everybody makes $100,000 a year, but some people still need our services, right? So that's another thing is we're very, very personal with our customers. So we give that personal touch, and we work directly one-on-one with each customer to make sure that they are satisfied. It's not, we have no set thing in place like, okay, this is what has to be done. It's this way or no way. No, we always accommodate our customers or our contractors, whoever it is, and make sure that they're happy, right? That at the end of the day, they're looking for somebody to get the job that they need done, right? And that's where we come in and we take care of that. If we do something just our way and they're not happy about it, that's when you start getting those bad reviews and you start getting those unhappy customers. So definitely just listen to the customers and do what they want in a way. Definitely make it your own, right?
Mhm.
But do what they want.
Okay, that's some good advice. And be listening. That's probably what you want to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely some good advice and some very key points there. I think Albert has a question for you. I'm sure he's
I'm
ready.
sorry, not to cut you guys off. I want to piggyback back onto that question.
Mhm.
Okay.
Don't how do I say this with being nice?
Yeah.
I mean, customers are going to ask you for crazy things, absolutely crazy things,
Yeah.
and you're still allowed to say no, right?
Mhm.
That's one thing. You have to just be firm. Being confident is number one,
Mhm.
and always follow up after the service as well.
All right. Yeah. Great. Actually, on that point, yeah, I remember we did some quality calling to your VA, your virtual assistant, and we actually gave him a really tough call, didn't we? Yeah, he was really shocked with that one. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He called me and he's like, "I think we're getting prank called," and I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "There's this person calling and they're asking for this and this and this," and he's like, "I have no idea." He's like, I really think it's a prank call, Joseph." And I was like, "Let me go listen to it." And I
Mhm.
listened to it and I was like, "Block the number. We don't deal with that." And then you guys had messaged me saying that we called your
Yeah.
company
Don't
with,
block it.
yeah. I was like,
Mhm.
and I messaged him back right away. I said, "Unblock the number right now." Didn't tell him why or anything,
Mhm.
but I was like, "Just unblock it."
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we wanted to see as a critical thinking. That was part of our analysis there on the call monitoring, which has turned out really good, right? We got some good information from that. So yeah, that's one of the things we do here.
Yes,
So
definitely. If
So,
whoever's watching this, if you guys need an assistant, a virtual assistant of some sort, or just help in your business, contact these guys. They know what they're talking about and they know what they're doing. Uh, they specialize in specific niches, property management companies, but honestly, that's the way to go. That's stable jobs. That's consistent work.
mhm.
And without these guys, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't really be where I'm at. With them and Max, they've helped me out dramatically.
All right, yeah. Well, thanks for that. Yeah. Yeah, we try our best to keep the VAs going and doing their best and always on their toes, right? Never know when the next surprise call is going to come in.
Yep.
so it's a very good point you're making, Joseph, and Albert as well. So it's kind of like a question that's just come to my mind. Actually, I haven't wrote this down or anything. Um, with customer satisfaction, right? Like you said, there's going to be some crazy requests that you're unable to meet. What have been some of the crazy requests that you've received that's just like, okay, we really cannot do that?
I think that was one
So,
of ours, right? Can you wash my dog? Oh, that was awesome. Yeah, I like that.
so uh, the first thing that comes to mind is we were contracted with this big motel company. Okay, I'm not gonna say names. There's many of them out there. Uh, this one was honestly in the ghetto. There was drug deals happening in the parking lot. There was people breaking into the rooms while like families were staying in that one room, and we were their housekeeping service. So we came across this guy had broken into this woman's room, And as housekeeping, they didn't have a security on standby. I mean, it's a motel. So as housekeeping, we're the ones that's supposed to go and kind of do the check-in. And we walk in and this guy just has drugs everywhere. The company had
Wow.
told us to clean it up. And we were like, we're not doing this. This is hazardous
Mhm.
waste. You know, we
Mhm.
cannot touch this. We don't even have the right equipment to go into that room right now.
Mhm.
But they were very, very stubborn people and insisted that we do that or they don't pay us. And we were on a monthly contract. We're actually on a yearly contract.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
and they breached the contract as well because of that situation. Uh, totally fine. I mean, we got out of a big mess, but that's a crazy. I mean, there. I just picture it right now, and the guy was just on the bed, flat. He was basically flatlined on the bed. I mean, they,
hmm
yeah. And then he ended up before the cops got there. He locked himself in the room, and the cops had to crawl through the window just to get this guy out.
Oh wow. As a crime
Wow.
Yeah,
scene. Yeah.
it
Wow.
was.
hmm
And then the what's crazy is the people there. I mean, the owners just kept going on with their day. I'm like, you just put a lady in danger. I mean, this was her room,
hmm
and they just kept going on with their day and kind
Yeah.
of, oh well,
Everyday business. Yeah.
yeah, yep. And I'm just, how can you do that? You know, uh, if we read their reviews, I mean, they're a 2-star motel, and I kind of read the reviews, guys, before you contract with any company. Um,
yeah.
read the
Maybe.
reviews or um, contact or watch these guys' podcasts. I mean, they've gone through a few reviews for some companies, and you guys will thank us later. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, we're only getting started with that. So for companies out there, beware.
Yeah.
If you're not doing 5-star customer service,
We got our claws out.
we're 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 hunting for you, and yeah, we will be calling you out,
Yeah. Maybe we
oh
could get that contact there,
definitely.
Joseph. You could throw us that one.
no, you guys don't want. I mean, I will give you guys. You guys can read their reviews, definitely,
hmm
100%. Read
Okay.
their reviews, but it's. I mean, they were scamming money. For example, some crazy thing that actually happened right in front of my eyes, but I can't say anything because I mean, they're
Mm.
we work for them in a way.
Right.
Right.
No disclosure.
Their
Yeah.
front desk guy, some lady gave them a $20 bill to break. She wanted 110 and 2 fives. And so the guy, he only gives her a 10 and a 5. And she says, well, where's the other 5? And he starts yelling at her. He starts yelling at her saying that she only gave him $15 and this and that. And I'm like, why would she give, in my head, why would she give you $15 for change?
For change.
You know, why would she ask for another 10 and 5 back?
hmm
No, she gave you 20, but you wanted you wanted the extra 5. And along the way, we ended up just having problems with that front desk guy actually stealing the tips from our cleaners.
Oh.
There, he
Wow.
would walk into the room and steal the tips from the housekeepers.
Huh. Gangster. yeah.
Definitely.
That's ghetto for you. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
hmm
Yeah, I would definitely love to read their reviews.
Me
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
at this point, based on what you're telling us. Again, I mean, that's great business advice, for our viewers and our listeners today. In some situations, you have to stand your ground, right? Where if something's just morally wrong and it's not normal business practices, then, for any company out there, you need to stand your ground and you need to say, no, this is wrong. Like we cannot do this, and you have specific reasons why. So yeah, that's great advice, Joseph.
Don't
Definitely.
let the money talk. There's way too many people out there that will pay you what you deserve and give you a much easier job. You'll learn that along the way. I understand once you're starting out or something, th- this this says a lot. This one contract that's going to pay you $7,000 says a lot, but that's a contract that should really be paying you $13,000. But you're starting out, you think that's a lot of money, but at the end of the day, know your worth, uh, and really, really just know your business. Go and meet with new people and network a lot so that you know the business inside and out. So these people aren't scamming you. These companies are not scamming you, and you know everything that goes into it.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. So what what got you into the cleaning industry? Like, what made you start your own cleaning company?
So kind of crazy. I was actually in college for business. You know, I was going to community college. I did not want to pay for university, uh, and I did not like it. It was during COVID. I cannot just work. I cannot do schooling online. I'm more of an in-person guy. You know, I need to be. I need to see what I'm learning. I need to be taught by somebody. I need to have other people around me that can also help me. Uh, so COVID really hit hard, and my dream actually was to become a doctor. So I was going to work my way up to an ER doctor.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Hmm. Yeah.
went one semester and dropped out. But then my father-in-law actually, he said, look, if you don't want to go to college, find something and make your own business out of it.
Mhm.
He said, look, you can become a cleaner, you can become anything. And I feel like I have OCD. I mean, my room's always clean, my house is always clean. Like I can't go to sleep with dishes in my sink.
Oh,
So
that's good.
you
Yeah.
know,
Mhm.
I really found a love for cleaning, and so we started it. And I spoke to my aunt, who was a property manager back in her day,
Mhm.
and she told me, she said, look, don't do furnish, go directly to property management companies and do empty houses. She said they
Mhm.
pay more and it's a lot. I mean, you're to yourself. It's easier. You don't really have many people nagging down your neck telling you, oh, I wanted this shined or I wanted this done.
Mhm.
You know what goes into it. Uh, so she convinced me to start with property management companies, and I did. Uh, my first property management company was not the greatest experience. You
Mhm.
guys might know. Uh,
We can relate.
Yeah.
yeah, and
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, I took her on a few cleans, and I paid her 50% of actually what I mean the companies were paying me, and she taught me the ropes inside and out, exactly what property management companies look for in the cleanings, uh, what to do for certain things. I mean, that's how we got started, and that's kind of what made me find a cleaning
Mhm.
company. You know, my father-in-law just said, find something and run with it. If you
Mhm.
don't want to do college, he said, you can always go back to college, right? But at some point in time, I mean, I'm going to be 60 years old, and I can't run a cleaning company at 60 years old. You know, he's like, start now.
Mhm.
So here we
Okay.
are. We've expanded out, and now we're much larger than what we were 3 years ago.
All right. That's some good
Wow.
advice. Yeah. Yeah, you can always go
It's
back to
an
college. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
it's an amazing journey that you've had, Joseph, definitely. And I kind of can relate to you about cleanliness. Um, so in my kind of early 20s, I did work for a cleaning company in the United Kingdom, and I had many different clients. Like I had to be up at like 4 in the morning
Cool.
every day
Mhm.
to like go do like 2 hours worth of cleaning, like cleaning offices, doing their dishes, vacuuming, and then like the supervisor would come and do like this, like she'd run her finger like everywhere, right? Like under chairs and like,
Mhm.
so it kind of did teach me like about detail, paying attention to detail. When you are contracted for a job, they some things like that are checked. People do run a finger across the shelf, or they'll check their cabinets, they'll check different things. So again, paying attention to detail is great,
Yeah.
and we've witnessed your work as well, and yeah, 5 stars,
Yeah.
100%.
Well, it's
Thank you,
ironic.
guys.
Yeah. I used to actually do that too. I was in the army for some years, so the army, they really don't have janitors, so they use their soldiers to buff the floors and mop and sweep. So yeah, I had my fair share there too. So I can
Oh,
relate.
wow.
Yeah. Painted
So I guess,
rocks. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you guys are the people I would want to hire for my company. You won't even. We
Mhm.
get people applying for and holding interviews, and I'm just like, have you guys ever cleaned before? Oh yeah, I've cleaned my house. That's not good enough.
All right.
You have
Yeah.
no experience in cleaning. I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
come on. You guys have the experience. You guys know what goes into cleaning. Uh, you guys won't believe what some people come across, and they're just like, oh, I want to be a cleaner. Okay, well, do you have experience? You know, as a 5-star company, we can't just hire anyone. Um, and we do have subcontractors cleaners as well, but they had to be tested. We had to see what equipment they're using. We had to see everything. We actually send them on test cleans. My house is always clean because I have test cleans happening at my house.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yep. Or I send them over to a family member's house and we test them as well, such as like, hey, how do I book again? Right. I'll have my family member ask them how to book again. If they say, okay, call Joseph or call Max, then they're good to go. If they say, oh, here's my card, you can give me a call. I'm not sending you out to another job because now you're going to start taking my customers.
Mm.
But we stepped away from furnished homes. We don't do that anymore. That was more in the past. But yeah, definitely. I mean, from my experience, I will probably never touch the furnished home again
Okay.
as well.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
But
It's
being
kind
a
of it's making me think of a question here. So I know on jobs, right, there's a certain time frame to get something completed. So how do you balance between, for example, let's say it's maybe a 2-hour job, right? So how do you balance between like, it's going to take 2 hours to do this. So it's kind of balancing between the time and quality of service.
Mm.
Like where is that balance and how did you find that?
So are we talking about cleaning or are we talking about all of our other services as well, just in general?
I think
Or
if you
cleaning,
can
right?
give me an example with cleaning and then maybe another example in general. Just
Yeah. So cleaning, you have to be skilled. It's not something, like I said, anybody can just do. So we always give a time frame. I mean, we try to do. I mean, the next house will probably be 30 minutes to an hour after our predicted time for the previous house. We base all of our time just on the size of the house as well as the photos that the client has provided us. So with those photos, we can kind of see, okay, it's cluttered. So it's going to take about 4 to 5 hours, even though it's a 2-bedroom house, because there's a lot of junk everywhere. Honestly, it all varies, but it's really just depends on the size of the house and how dirty it is. I know how skilled our cleaners are. I know how fast they can move. I know who's good at what. So that's really, I mean, you just have to know your team. You have to know who you're sending out. And if some houses, there's no possible way to bring it back to its old glory, right? So I'm not going to send my 5-star cleaner who can be working on this multi-million-dollar house to this 2-bedroom house that's going to take them, 6 hours, but it's still not going to look that perfect. I'll send my regular cleaners who are still just as good, but just not as skilled to that house to get it done. I mean, it's honestly the same work, but everybody has a different eye for different things. So you just have to know which cleaner you're sending out and just know how fast they work, really. Just know your team.
Okay. So it's a team effort in the end.
Yep. And you never want to send a solo cleaner. They'll be there for days.
For days. Yeah. That's a good good tip.
Yep. If you're starting a cleaning business or doing whatever, I mean, always go in teams of 2. Just, you'll have somebody starting in the restrooms and the other person can start in the bedrooms. You'll be done around the same time because the person who's working on the bedrooms will also get the kitchen done.
Right.
So it's really just know your team and work together. Don't ever, I'm sure people can do it solo, but you'll grow quicker. You'll make more money if there's 2 of you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty much for any job, I think. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
So that's really, you just have to know your team, Paul.
No, it's a great answer, and thank you, Joseph, for explaining it in detail for us. I think Albert has a question, right, Albert? I know you have some good ones there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's I can relate to that because I used to do those midnight shifts, buffing the CO's floor and stuff, and I'd be like, oh man, I hate this. So I'd take like forever, but like hating the job. Yeah, it's like, oh man, why did he put that there, and why is the trash bin full, and all this. So I can't believe you threw this away, and yeah. So yeah, it's how long did it take you to get to that point of realizing that you needed 2 people on the job?
Honestly, right from the start, I'm not a fan of doing everything by myself, and I want somebody to do the things I don't want to do. So starting off, I mean, it was my fiance and I cleaning. both
Okay.
of us. So
Mm-hmm.
we are always a team. And like I said, I used to take my aunt. So
Mm-hmm.
fun fact, I actually never stepped foot into a furnished home. Had to clean it before. Uh, those I mean, it's business. I subcontracted it out. Like I said, I have those people who want to work,
Mm-hmm.
and I put them to the test, and I know what equipment they use, and hey, how much would you charge me to get this job done?
Mm-hmm.
I pay them what it is. We're a 5-star company, so again, we can price a little bit higher than others.
Yeah.
So even if I'm making $20, I mean, I have a good client. There's more referrals. I'm still only making $20. $20 is $20.
Yeah. Basically,
So
guess.
yep, and I'll get more referrals, and maybe I'll have 3 customers now where I'm making $20, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing any.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's the way I see it.
Yeah. It's always good to keep your status 5 stars, right?
Yep,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely worth money.
yep. And I mean, now in where I'm at in business now, I mean, honestly, it's kind of unbelievable. We're contracted with multiple companies. We have both commercial and uh, we're doing both commercial and residential. And I mean, Max, my virtual assistant, I actually don't like to call him my virtual assistant. He's my operations manager for the company. He takes care of everything that has to do with the operations. He's killing it. I mean, he's on it. He's scheduling jobs, and he's really my right hand man. So he's scheduling the jobs, talking to the tenants, talking to the property managers, going back and forth. I mean, he only contacts me really when he needs help. At this point, I'm just overseeing him and dealing with the much larger jobs that I personally want to deal with. Uh,
Yeah.
that's where we're at now. So it's
I,
more laid back, more on the computer, just going and visiting job sites. But truly, I wouldn't have been able to be like this if I didn't have Max, or you guys. If I'm being honest, you're the ones who trained him and got him to where he needs to be. And uh, yeah, definitely, your company has grown mine and helped mine out dramatically. I mean, I probably tripled my sales because of you guys.
Okay. Yeah. That's what we're here for.
that, that's exactly what we like
Mm-hmm.
to hear. You know, when a vendor says, "Oh, I have so much work, I'm super busy," that's exactly
Yeah.
what we want to hear.
Yeah.
So when we don't hear that particular sentence, we start thinking, okay, well, how can we change that?
Mm-hmm.
How can we make sure you are getting more work and more things are coming through the door?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to mention Max as well. So I've known Max for maybe 2 years. I was his manager previously when I worked in the property management industry. And I will say this, Joseph, he has a lot of respect for you, and he's I've never seen him this happy. You know, so he's super happy to be working with you and working for H Royalty Cleaning Services, and yeah, I think every day he comes into work, he's given 100%, and he wants to do great things.
Yep. I mean, I tell him all the time, the more you grow, right, the higher you become. Uh, I try to
Yeah.
remind him every day. Every new contract we get, you're one step closer to being somebody else's boss. Because Max is the first one in the company. He knows it just as much as I do. So if I bring on somebody else because he needs help, he's going to be their boss. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
who else? Who else will I put there?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But
Going up the
yeah, I mean,
ladder.
we worked with Max as well. I remember you guys in the property management company.
Mm-hmm.
We were their vendor. That was
Mm-hmm.
something.
Yeah.
You guys, you live and you learn. I'm just going to be 100% straightforward. This property management company that we were contracted with at the time, uh, they always underbid. They tried to find the cheapest way to
Mm-hmm.
do it, and I thought I was their guy. I thought um, I was their person to go to, and they would pay my prices. But over time, I started seeing them, try to get it for cheaper or
Yeah.
tell me that they cannot pay me. I mean, they at this point they still owe me money, but in business you kind of learn to cut your losses. But
Yeah.
yeah, this company was definitely something else. And I mean, like I said, guys, don't feel like you have to take this contract because of the money, or you have to take this contract. it's not worth it. At the end of the day, it's going to give you much more headache than money you're making. Focus on something else. Kind of put that time into somebody else's contract or somebody else, and it'll worth. Oh god,
Yeah.
it will be 100% worth it. I mean, dip your foot into so many different doors, and you guys will learn what you like and what works for your company. Everybody's company is different. I mean, I cannot find another cleaning company that's exactly like mine.
Oh, I'll say this now. There is none. You're the one and only, Joseph.
Yeah.
Again, when I was in the property management industry and I needed either a deep clean or a refresh, you were my go-to. I'd be like, oh, I need Joseph, right?
Yeah, let's call him. Yeah.
Joseph, I need this tomorrow. Can you do it? And again, you know, you would always go the extra mile, every time.
Yeah. Actually, when the payment problem started, we called you right away because that was a problem
I do
for us.
remember that.
Yeah, because you were our go-to guy. So when you weren't getting paid and you didn't want to set more jobs, yeah, that was like, uh-oh. Well, how do we fix this? But fortunately, it was a little higher up than us, so couldn't do anything about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was truly, honestly, it was unprofessional from upper management. I definitely remember some people there flirting with me, texting me after office hours, and I would
Yeah.
yeah, definitely there's some more to talk about with that company, but well, yeah.
Okay.
I will say this, right? So since we're speaking about the relationship between vendors and property management companies, right? With property management companies, the issue I've had is it's kind of like they put the homeowner first, the tenant second, and the vendor at the very bottom.
Yeah.
Right? And I have spoken about this in previous episodes. Again, for anyone listening or watching today, you can check previous episodes. I go into more detail about that. I think finding a good property management company to work with is where you do see some genuine care from the property management company to build that business relationship. I do feel like everyone makes mistakes, right? We're all human beings. Mistakes happen. But I feel with property management companies, I feel when a vendor makes a mistake with them, instead of trying to help and explain why that was wrong, they kind of go to the result of cutting them off completely.
Or
Like
not
just not
paying.
giving them any more work, or in your example, Joseph, like just, you know, not paying and just doing these, you know, unlawful business practices that isn't good for the industry. So I really hope that improves. And again, at Octagon, we always try and connect any vendors with good property management companies. We filter them. You know, we check for many different things. We do look at many different aspects of their company. We see how they speak to us on the phone. We make assessments based on that to make sure it's the right fit as well. So it's not just that Octagon's just sending vendors to any property management company.
Oh no.
We're very specific, and we target specific property management companies that follow the correct business practices.
I mean, that's 100% right. You guys, from day one, I think it was about maybe the first month in, I was contracted with the company from you guys. And wow, they have been keeping me busy. And I mean, over time, Max has just been building relationships with other property managers and property management companies. And now we're at like five property management companies that are sending us stable jobs as well.
All right.
So
Yeah.
you guys were the kick to that one with that first company, and definitely second what Paul said. They don't just give you to anybody. You know, it's there's research behind it, and there's relationships behind it as well.
Oh yeah.
And even for us, we like building the relationship with property management companies. And even within our services, we can actually help property management companies as well. So again, our services expand,
Mm-hmm.
with working with vendors and property management companies, which again, I think makes us quite unique in that aspect and our experience in the industry. So we we started this company to kind of champion forward the fact of helping and supporting what is right in this industry and to do the right thing. So yeah, we feel very proud, Joseph, to hear the results, right, and the progression for your business. That makes us happy.
All right, cool. So I have a question here. So what do you like and dislike about working for PM companies?
Oh man, I like that everything's stable. The jobs are stable. I mean, they're always going to be tenant maintenance calls. There's always going to be turnovers and things like that. So it's really just stability for myself and my family and my business. Um, that's probably the main thing, as well as meeting so many different people. In property management, there's so many different personalities, and every single one is unique in their own way. If I'm being honest with you, I have never come across a property manager um, who has not been somebody I liked. You know, every property manager I've talked to, I've enjoyed every conversation and meeting every single person. The downfall of with PMCs is that not always is your bid going to be approved, right? Sometimes they do, like I said in the beginning. I mean, we're a very personal company, so we understand everybody um, has different budgets. But when you're talking to investors and you're talking to people who have hundreds of homes that they have, maintenance calls on, this $400 job, they really only have $200 in their budget, but you can't make that happen.
Hmm.
You can't cut the price in half when the part alone is $300.
Right.
That's that's probably the downside. Is just that we don't have very much leeway in our pricing. Though property managers will definitely they have many vendors on their list. They have uh, hundreds, if anything, and they'll just call somebody else to do the job, and it kind of hurts because I
Hmm.
mean in a few months they're going to call you back that this part was faulty and this piece needs to be redone because the person that they sent out there
Yeah, just Mickey
didn't
Mouse.
do it.
Yeah.
Eh,
Yeah.
exactly.
Hmm.
Uh,
That it's a good point you've raised there, Joseph. Again, that it was never my style as a property manager to do that. Um, when I assigned a vendor, my key point with the homeowner was to sell it. So it's a strategy, right? Where I'm calling the homeowner and I'm like, look, I would send them the bid, right? Then I would phone them, like, look, I know this vendor. They're going to do a really good job for you here. I know it's a little bit more, but they have great quality of service. And I've worked with this vendor for many years,
Hmm.
right? Most of the time, they're gonna say yes, do it, or it's another strategy of saying, look, we're under time frame. It's gonna take longer to go get a second bid here, so
Right. Yeah. Do
we
you want
really
to?
need to get we need to get this done today,
Yeah.
right?
Do you want to rent your house or do you want to wait for another bid?
yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes I wish I can just speak to the homeowner directly. I
Hmm.
can definitely sell my services to really anyone. But I don't think the property management company has as much uh, what's the word? They're not as passionate about it as we are. If their home
Hmm.
if their boss in a way, the person who pays them says no, it's a no. They're not going to argue it. They're just going to find somebody else to do it.
Hmm.
no, I would do that anyway, Joseph. So another strategy, that's a good point as well, is when I saw the homeowner was difficult, I would call the vendor. I'd say, look, the homeowner's being a little bit difficult. Would you like to get on the phone with them on a freeway?
Hmm.
So then I would bring the vendor actually on the call with the homeowner. Of course, I would ask the homeowner first, listen, the vendor would like to speak to you. If- Would you like to speak with them? And all the time they would say yes. They would never say no to me. And then I would freeway it in, and then they would sell the service because at the end of the day, the vendor is the professional. They do that particular service every single day. right? So they're able to sell it more than me.
Mm,
So at that
that's
point
true.
when the vendor's selling it to the homeowner's spoken directly to the vendor, of course, with me as a kind of a witness in the middle, right? Um, and that percentage rate of approval was quite high. And most of the time it would get approved. Like, I think my biggest job I ever got approved was like $26,000. And that was actually with John, by the way. So you can maybe ask him about that. That was a good memory with
Oh,
me and
I'm
John.
sure that's a large amount. I
Um,
mean, my biggest
yeah.
job was probably 13,000, but no, I mean, we're a few $1,000s apart. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a what was that job like? So if that
Uh,
was your biggest job, how did that go?
so it's actually a commercial contract, a
Okay,
commercial cleaning contract of ours. So
right.
we did end it. This one was for, we ended up, we're a smaller company and we did sell it at 13,000, which was average pricing. But when it came time, I mean, we started falling through difficulties. Cleaners were coming and going, and uh, we were more about quality than anything. And some of these cleaners they just want to get a paycheck and go home, right? They don't care about my business. It's at the end of the day, it's my business, and they're just an employee. Uh, I don't really like that. I like somebody who's going to give that personal touch, somebody who wants to mean it and kind of do good, because I'm a guy of rewarding. So if I know you're doing great, I'm going to reward you. I'm going to give you some sort of incentive, whether it's dinner for you and your family or a gift card or something, just to show you I care.
Mhm.
I was doing that to these people just to show them like, hey, I do care, but they just never cared. Um,
Right.
so going in and out of cleaners, I mean, at one point, my fiance and I were there for Sunday through Saturday. I mean, it was a 7-day contract. Sunday through Saturday, we were there ourselves cleaning. I mean, probably the hardest time of my life. And
Hmm.
I just had to be a business owner and say, I have to step away from this. Uh, but that contract, I mean, it was going for about 6, 7 months. It was nice contract, but I mean, working it myself for a month straight was just no good. I
Yeah.
mean, I just had to step away.
Yeah, you had to balance that time. Yeah. Priorities. Where would you be more useful? Yeah, being the homeowner or being the worker?
No, I
Exactly.
Yeah.
I completely understand where you're coming from, Joseph. We've had many employees come through Octagon's doors,
Oh yeah.
and they just haven't had that passion that we've been looking for, right? It's kind of like it's a
Hmm.
paycheck for them, and yeah, starting your own business is scary. It's a big step. It's such a big step to take, and trying to find the right clients as well is important, and the right employees and the right team.
Hmm.
It's such that a long, challenging journey, um, especially even for me, right? Like it's hard for me to get off the field. I need to step back and be the business co-owner with Albert. But sometimes I'm just drawn back in the field,
Yeah.
back
No.
on the phones.
Hey.
Back, and it's like, but I need to step back and
Yeah.
work on the
Hey.
business structure.
You see a task and you're
Yep.
like, oh, I can do this a lot better. You're like, yeah,
Yep.
tempted just to do
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah,
Let me do this for you. But
And
yeah.
as business owners, our time means a lot.
Hmm.
We definitely, I mean, we can with if we did not have to worry about anything, and I had somebody I mean, kind of do I have Max, but if I had somebody covering everything that I do as well, I mean, overseeing Max and stuff, I would be able to grow a whole other business. Uh, and so time does mean a lot to us business owners,
Hmm.
hmm
especially when if
yes,
we have to be out on the field and we're still doing the work as well as running the business.
Exactly. Yeah.
hmm
Okay. Well, I think the second question we kind of answered already. Is how has Octagon changed your business? So yeah, yeah, we're happy to know we've done something there. So
Octagon has been chef's kiss. You
thanks.
guys, honestly, I brag about you guys to a lot of people. Uh, these people though are just not ready to grow their business, I guess. You know, you're going to get those people who are scared, but scared money doesn't make you money, right? Uh, you have to. overcome your fears and push through. Business is not easy. There's definitely you'll be uh, spending more money in your business than what you actually take home sometimes. You know, I've gone to where, I mean, as a business, I pay myself every month. I don't pay myself every check I get or whatever. I pay myself once a month.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going with $200 left for 3 weeks of 3 weeks of the month,
Mm-hmm.
but I know next
Yeah.
month is going to be a lot better because we get paid net 30.
Mm. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for that. So, okay, here's a really good question though. How are you planning on expanding your business?
Great. So
Mm-hmm.
we're currently working on getting more property management companies. We've found our niche. Um, we are doing commercial buildings as well. So with these property management companies come commercial buildings. So we're doing property management for both commercial and residential. We're getting a jack of all trades. I mean, we're getting janitorial, uh, power sweeping. We're getting roofing repairs, things like that. There's definitely some things I cannot take care of in my business that I do push aside. Uh, but we're looking at growing. We're going to expand out through California. So right now we're currently serving OC, IE, and San Diego.
Oh, San Diego. Okay.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
we're doing a little bit of San Diego. We're kind of starting to dip our foot in there.
Mm-hmm.
But we're definitely doing the Inland Empire in Orange County. And I'm waiting to expand out to Los Angeles until I know for sure I have my team
Mm-hmm.
of great people and people who are willing to drive out there. Los Angeles is a large county. I know the second I do dip my foot into Los Angeles, I will be
Mm-hmm.
growing dramatically.
Yes.
So we're waiting because we know what's to come, but we're definitely just going to expand out, hire on some maintenance coordinators. As Max is the operations manager, he'll be overseeing that,
Mm-hmm.
and hire on a sales team as well. We're definitely in the future, once we get a full established office going, we will be hiring on an in-house sales team to be going directly to these property management companies, uh, making routes and building that personal relationship.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be a big fish there
That's
in Los Angeles.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's because not a lot of people like to go there because of the traffic. So yeah, that's gonna be an accomplishment there.
And the amount of
Mm.
properties there that have issues.
Oh yeah,
There's,
that too.
I mean, that's the way I look at it. I mean,
Hmm.
I follow I go where the issues go.
Hmm.
Uh, and that's one county that will definitely keep you on your toes.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet. Yeah. All right. So oh, here's a really good one too. So do you think another pandemic, like a COVID issue, lockdowns and all that, do you think that will harm or would that benefit your business?
Since we do a jack of all trades, I mean, say cleaning stops, right? We still have our other services that are making us a profit.
Hmm.
Uh, with the pandemic, I mean, we less people move, so we definitely may be slowing down, but we still always get those tenant maintenance calls.
Hmm.
People will be home more often. They'll be seeing more problems with their house. They'll be using more things in their house for it to break. You're
Hmm.
giving it more time to fall and break. Uh, so we'll definitely slow down 100%. We won't be taking care of full turnovers and dealing with cleaning and things like that, but we'll still always have those tenant maintenance calls. Uh, the profit on those are a little bit less than our other services, but I'm sure it'll still keep us steady and uh, may need to let go of a few handymans. Can't be sending them all jobs.
Hmm.
But I may have to go back on the field to make, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right?
Hmm.
But
That's true.
definitely may end up back on the field if another pandemic hits.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. All right. So yeah, my list is complete here. I just have another question that was mean to ask before. So being a and young company owner, could you tell us what that is like?
It's not easy. 100% not easy. I mean, I talk over the phone. People love me. They see me in person and they call me buddy or kid.
Mm.
Uh, two words I hate the most.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hmm.
uh, I'm not. I like to tell them I'm not a buddy. I'm not a kid. I mean, I'm running a full business, right? I mean, there you definitely overcome some challenges, and you deal with people who are older than you, who think they can walk over you. They can get a better deal. They can tell you how to run your business or how to do your job. Uh, that that's not the case. I mean, I started this business with a future, with an idea in mind of how it's going to be ran, and I don't let anybody walk over me. I mean, uh, I've gone, we've serviced some senior communities, senior citizen communities, and they thought that they can tell me exactly what to do and tell me how much they're going to pay me. Uh, and I just walked out. I mean, you're not going to tell me, yeah, I'm young. Yeah, I'm in business young, but that does not mean I can be firm. I can be strict. Uh, and I'm going to tell you how it is. If it's not going to make sense for me, I'm not doing it. You know, I've like I said, I've learned along the way. In business, you definitely there's a lot of trial and error. Uh, so you just learn along the way, and you kind of stand your ground, right? Does it make sense for your business or not? Uh, but being a kid, again, I've also I don't hang out with the same people I used to. All of my high school friends are in college, or they're working a minimum wage job. No shade to them if you're watching.
Yeah, like,
But
hey.
that that's not the route I wanted to take in life.
Hmm.
I wanted to be successful young. I grew up with my dad who's successful, my younger brother who's making probably more than me with his clothing company,
Hmm. Okay.
and I just grew up around entrepreneurship and kind of just figuring out your way in life. You don't want to work for somebody else. I didn't want to go to college because now that I look at it as well, I'm making more than what uh, some of these people will be making freshly out of college or with the degree,
Hmm.
right? You spent money to get this degree, but I'm making more than what your degree is going to pay you.
Yeah, that's interesting. I
Uh,
always tell Paul, yeah, it's we talk about that topic sometimes. We say, yeah, you go to college to learn how to be an employee. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, that's my
Uh,
mentality. Yeah. So yeah,
uh,
I went to college and I kind of realized that it's like you're being taught to be an employee, not a business owner. So yeah.
yep. And my brother who's in high school also teaches you how to be an employee. You go to high school from 8 to 5. It's like your 9 to 5 job. Uh, they give you tasks to do and you have to get them done. Same with work. I mean, they give you tasks to do and you have to get them done. Um, my brother is actually running. He's a top seller on Etsy. Uh, I'm able to shout him out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Please do.
Okay.
Of course.
Well,
Yep.
check out Inhumane on Etsy. He's top seller. He has over 3,000 sales, and he's only been open for a year. He made a year in August, so last month. Uh, or is it this month? Oh, it's this month. He made a year this month, and he makes 6 figures a year. So he's only 17. He just turned. He's turning 18 in December, and his school is just against him running a business in a way. They don't understand that he does have to go home early. He does have to miss out on this event or do this because of business. But at the end of the day, that's what he wants to do with his life. He doesn't really care for college. I mean, he's making more than a teacher at this point. So yeah, I mean, college is just not for everyone.
Yeah, definitely.
And being being young, you're definitely overlooked. You're thought of as uh, people are a lot of people get jealous, especially older people who are not as successful as we are. Uh, they definitely look at you and they're jealous, so they want to make your life miserable. They want to uh, kind of talk down on you and your business. But again, you just got to overcome it and uh, push through. I mean, network with people who you want to be, right? If you want to be this successful entrepreneur millionaire, right? Why are you talking to somebody who's still working at McDonald's? Or why are you still hanging out and going to parties with these people, right? Go to party with the millionaires. It's not that hard to meet people and find uh, people who are in the same industry as you even. I mean, I network with cleaning company owners. I know cleaning company owners in every different state, right? If a job opportunity comes my way in a different state, I'm passing it over to them. One, makes me more money. And two, I know I have these people to always call and get advice from if I need it.
Awesome. Yeah. Actually, that's a really good point. I mean, the only secret I think for success is doing something that you like. I think Steve Jobs said it a
Definitely.
lot better than I just did, but yeah, that's the only secret there is really. If you like doing it, then you're gonna put the effort in. It's not gonna be stressful for you. So yeah.
Yep, it's fun.
Hmm.
At that point, it's fun. I mean, I love what I do. I love going into empty houses, seeing the before, and then going in to see the after the cleaners are done cleaning it. I mean, it's a whole new house. When I walk into it first, I will never live here. This place is horrible.
Hmm.
I walk in after, I'm like, okay, well, how much is it?
Yeah. No.
You know,
Yeah. This place is pretty
here's
cool.
my credit card. Put it down.
Hmm.
But yeah, definitely find something you love, and what I tell people is find something you love and run with it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right? Don't
Hmm.
stop running. There's going to be downs. There's going to be big ups, but don't get lost in the money. Right? Remember why you're doing it, to build your future, to uh, kind of find that stability. Right?
Hmm.
And there's definitely a lot of trial and error. Don't get upset when you're down.
Yeah.
I was at my lowest at one point. Don't get upset. You'll definitely find a way to figure it, to bring it back up. I mean,
Hmm.
that's what business owners do.
Yeah. That's
So
what.
I,
That's what.
I,
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I was gonna say. Yeah. That's one of my sayings. Yeah. It can always be worse.
Definitely.
Yeah.
yeah, I absolutely agree with you, Joseph. Age doesn't define, knowledge or intelligence or ambition. Um, I remember when you first told me how old you were, and you know, even to this day, like you have given us advice, and we always listen.
Hmm. Yeah.
And age isn't applicable. And like for me, I'm 30 years old, and there's even there's an age gap between me and Albert,
Hmm.
but we all look at each other as
Tiny bit.
equals, right? Because it's not age doesn't define anything at this point. We're all equals. We're all businessmen. And like sharing ideas is the key point to a successful business, right? Not every idea will be the best one, but you could have like 10 ideas and like one or two of them could be like just genius. And then you've just stumbled onto something great and
Yep.
something that no one else has done yet, and you're trying to implement that process. Um, and yeah, as business owners, it is challenging, and you have those low moments, right, where one month you could have the greatest sales ever, right, and you're on this high, like you're like, oh my god, this has been the best month, and then next month something happens. So it's just like it's this up and down like this, like a wave,
Hmm.
like
Yep.
all year.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's great. Like I think one of the main things you said, when you have a passion for something and you actually love to do it, I always feel that's the big difference. And um,
Yeah. You do it
a
a
lot
lot
of
better.
people have said to me, "Oh, why haven't you went and got a degree?" Or people like for me, I don't have a degree, right? But then people might look at me and say, "Oh, he doesn't know business because he doesn't have a degree." Well, we have a business
Yeah.
and it's profitable. I, did I need a degree to do that? No,
No.
I did not.
Paul actually likes business, so
I,
yeah.
you know, I like doing this, and I study and I work hard as well. And I think that's just the key points. I feel a degree doesn't define the person. It's their ambition that does.
Yep.
Hmm.
A lot of people's parents tell them that uh, they need to go ahead and, like, they can't do it. For example, a lot of parents are the ones who say, no, you can't do that. Go to college, get a degree.
Yeah.
Go to college, get a degree. I actually have a few friends who have degrees who are still working normal jobs, retail stores, right? Or just normal jobs.
Or
But
taxis. Or, mhm.
what their degree do for them,
Yeah.
right?
Made them a
I
good
mean,
employee.
exactly. And I ask them all the time, why'd you go get a degree then? Oh, well, my dad forced me to go to college. Okay, well, that's when you kind of have to stand up and tell your parents, not gonna happen. This is what I'm going to do. I'm gonna be honest. My parents did not believe in a cleaning business, right? I mean, my dad owns a trucking company. My mom has always worked with students. I mean, they're my mom's about college. My dad was not. My dad's about trade school. So when I told them that I'm opening up a cleaning business and that's what I want to do, they thought of me as lower than, right? Because one, cleaners are thought of as lower than. 100% cleaners are thought of as your last option to not go to college. Or you didn't go to college, but you have to make a living, right? That's not the case. I made something out of it, and that's what anybody can do, right? Find something and just make something out of it. I mean, whether it's art, whether it's anything. I mean, you guys are great at sales. You guys are great at talking to people. You made a successful company out of it. You made a company that helps others. You guys made a company that people go to because we need the help in sales and communicating with people. And I mean, just everything with property management companies, you guys are the guys to go to. And I'm sure other property managers reach out to you and ask for advice as well. It's just something that you guys have, and you guys were able to make a business out of it.
Yeah, and we like doing. We like connecting with people, and so that's something we actually put an extra effort into.
I want to say as well, being a cleaner is great, right? Because I've done it before and I loved it. You know,
I didn't.
like going in there and going in there, like the satisfying thing was when I finished the job and I looked at everything I did, right? And I look around and say, oh yeah, they're going to be happy. And sure enough, I'd have my supervisor call me and go, Paul, the clients, I, well, one time my supervisor phoned and went, Paul, they're very happy. Like they've said the office hasn't smelled this nice, right? But and she was asking me like, what did you use? Like what product? And I'm like, no, I didn't use anything. I just used good old fashioned,
Yeah, just the vibes.
Yeah,
you know.
some elbow grease.
The-
We just used some
The Paul
elbow
vibes.
grease.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they were like the floor. They loved the smell of the like lemon, right? Everyone loves that lemon smell, right? When you
Mhm.
mop the
Yep.
floor. She's like they love the lemon smell. How do you get it to smell like that? I'm like,
Get lemon.
in all honesty, I didn't know. I was just using the products that we have, right? Which is you know, you put like a lemon in like a liquid and then you add like hot water. But I think my strategy was I'd let the mop kind of seep in the water, like so the lemon flavor kind of absorbs into the mop. So then when I did take it out and kind of like did the mopping, then the smell came out really well. So yeah, I mean, for people out there that are saying, you know, about cleaners is they've probably never even done it before. Like so who are they to say something? Have you ever did it before?
Yeah.
No. So
Exactly.
what are you talking about? You don't know what you're saying.
But it's just a different
Exactly.
experience, I think. Yeah, in the army there was no appreciation, so that
You-
affected a little bit,
I mean,
right? So limit or no, they just like, yeah, you're crummy. Yeah, next one, come in.
yeah,
Yeah,
just mop the floor.
yeah,
Just mop it. I don't care how it gets done.
get it
Just mop
done.
it.
Yeah, like, hey, you're dismissed, soldier.
Yeah.
Get out.
And the funny thing is, Joseph, like a lot of people said, like when we were leaving our paid jobs, right? So imagine this, like we're being paid, right? We're working for another company. We're being paid a guaranteed salary. So when we're like, oh, we're going to branch out on our own, people look at us immediately and go,
Oh,
they're crazy.
yeah.
I even got told it, you're crazy. What do you mean you're, I'm like, well, I'm going to start my own thing.
Yep.
And then I think they're like, it's fear, right? So they have fear on it and they go, oh, what if it doesn't work out? What this? I'm not thinking that way. I believe in our knowledge and what we're capable of doing. And at that point, it was just tunnel vision. We just went
Yeah,
forward.
just concentrate.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's the way I see it. Is I always tell people, I said, you get to a certain point in business where it's just up from here. You know, I'm at the point in business where it's just up from here. I know now what goes into it. I know what is needed. So really, it's just up from here. You know, and people don't understand that. Yeah, your first. I always tell them your first year is going to be probably the hardest year, right? Like you said, you just quit your job. That's a salary job. Uh, to go to making, you have to figure out every day how you're going to make money. right? Every day is going to be something new. And again, your life does not stop. I mean, you still have to put gas in your car. Your bills still have to be paid. You still have to put food on your table for your kids, for your wives, for whoever, whoever you're supporting. But
Yeah.
as a business mindset, it's just move forward and get it done. We never thought about, oh, what if it doesn't work out? Actually, now that you guys have said that, I have never thought about that in my mind.
Mhm.
What if it doesn't work out?
Has to work out.
I mean, yeah, exactly. There's no other way
Mhm.
but for it to work out, and people don't understand that. And I have a godmother who's very, very successful, and she told me the same thing. She said it just works out. She's like, no matter what, like when you move out to get to your own place, right? And you have to start paying bills on your own. Everybody's always stressed. Oh, I have to work more. I have to work more. Give me more hours. I have to work more. She's like, it just works out. It flows. Don't be timid. Don't be scared. Just live your life, and it's going to work out.
Mhm. Yeah, very true.
So Joseph, I have kind of a question before we finish up today's amazing episode that we've had with you. What are some of the benefits of having Octagon work services, like working with us?
Besides the fact that you guys tripled my sales within a month or two, I mean, you first off, Max, having Max from your company and having you guys oversee and make sure that he's still getting what needs to be done. That's probably that's really up there. I mean, I don't have time to micromanage somebody, right?
Mhm.
You guys are on top of it. You guys always ask for feedback. You guys ask for some of his calls to just listen to them and grade them yourselves, right? Because Octagon has their own standards, whether it's and Octagon standards are much higher than mine, personally. So that's definitely something. So Octagon has brought a lot to my business. You guys have taught sales, taught communication, taught really just taught me how to uh, get more customers in the property management field. Without you guys, I would probably not. I mean, I honestly, I think I know I wouldn't be where I'm at today. Uh, you guys have definitely grown my company more than I could have imagined, faster than I could have imagined. And Octagon has been there helping me still, even now that my company is grown. You guys didn't just, I mean, you guys don't just walk away, right?
Mhm.
So you guys are still there helping me grow it to be even larger than what you guys have made it to be today.
Mhm. Yeah, to be a mega corporation one day.
Exactly.
Mhm. Yeah.
No,
And,
it's been
and
an
if,
absolute honor.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll say
thank
that.
you. And if there's anybody out there looking for somebody to just talk to about sales, and if you're a vendor in any aspect, I mean, if you do any type of service work, whether it's landscaping, uh pool cleaning,
Mhm.
cleaning
Yeah.
in general, handyman or plumbing, electrical, whatever it is that you do, really get on a phone call with one of these guys, and they will let you know what needs to be done, and I promise you they can help you. uh I'm not their only client that they have helped. I mean, I network along the way, and I've come across some people myself who have used Octagon or still use Octagon Work Services, and
Mhm.
we all have the same thing to say about Octagon Work Services. Is uh, you guys, I mean, at, since day one, you guys had no doubt in yourselves, and you knew what quality you guys could bring, and you guys really brought it to the table, and you guys didn't just lay it down gently. You guys slammed it on the table.
We want to do
And
this. Let's do it now. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
exactly. So
Mhm.
so who, all the viewers out there, I mean, really just contact these guys, and it doesn't matter where you're at in business, right? These guys are there to help you. You can be at the top, and I'm sure they can still bring you higher than where you are.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. We're always projecting to be a much larger
Mhm.
entity. So mega corporation is our goal.
Yes,
And
sir.
yeah,
Mhm.
for anyone watching or listening, our contact information will be at the end of our
Mhm.
episode.
As always.
So for our viewers and listeners, Joseph, can you, if anyone's looking for cleaning services, just kind of give them a brief of what what your company can do in service terms. If anyone's ever looking for any cleaning services out there.
Definitely. We do everything. We do both commercial and residential. We will not do furnished residential, so I'm sorry. We did step away from that. But for property management companies as well, we do empty houses. So we'll take care of your complete turnover. Not just cleaning. We'll do handyman. We'll do plumbing, electrical, really whatever it is you need it. I mean, we're a jack of all trades. We can do junk removal. We can do landscaping, pool cleaning. And with us, you pay for quality, right? We, like I've been saying this entire episode, we work one-on-one with you. So if there's a service you're looking for and you cannot find somebody to do it, give us a call. And I mean, like I said as well, I know people all over the states that do the same thing I do as well. So if you're in a different state listening to this, you can also contact Octagon Work Services. They'll help you out in any state you are in. But really just give us a call and I'm sure we can take care of it. We networked. We know so many people. If it's not us, we'll refer you to somebody who can. And we do a jack of all trades. I mean, this swing set right here, we can put it up for your kids in your backyard if that's what you need.
Awesome, yeah.
As well.
That looks nice, yeah.
So it's not just property management companies, it's personal as well.
Awesome, all right. Yeah, thanks for letting us know. And
Brilliant.
yeah, I didn't know about the pool cleaning. Yeah, thanks for letting us know about that. That's a hard one to get sometimes.
It is. It definitely is a hard one.
Awesome, okay.
Excellent. No, that's brilliant. So yeah, again, anyone interested, we'll be providing that contact information at the end of this episode and also in our description below. Please do not forget to subscribe and like this episode today. And if you ever want to be on our podcast, please reach out to us. You can send us an email, give us a phone call. Again, all of our contact information will be at the end of this episode. And we want to give a big, massive thank you to Joseph for joining us today.
Thank you.
Sharing his story, his journey with us, also giving business advice and tips to everyone out there. Thank you so much, Joseph. We really do appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And again, thank you so much, everyone. So until the next episode,
all right.
we'll see you again.
Yeah. See you next time.
Thank you, guys.